Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this new figure unboxing and review we're going to be looking at the 2022 Legacy Core Class Iguanus figure. So what we're going to do with this video, we're going to unbox him live in a second, have a look at the entire contents of the packaging. We're then going to have a detailed look at him in both of his modes to help you decide how you want to display him. We can then do some comparisons with him and his original Generation 1 self, just to see where they've got all the homages from. And as I'm really pleased now to actually have all of the wave one of these mini core class figures, we can do the thing where we combine all the weapons and see how we make that larger sword. So as you can see, quite a bit to get through today. So before we get started, I'd like to remind anybody who's not subscribed to this channel, if they'd like to hit that subscribe button for me now please, because it will help this channel out. So here he is, Core Class Iguanus, and I already think, looking at him, this is just a great idea. I've not actually seen one of these in hand. I've seen some pictures and I've not seen any reviews, so this is going to be completely unbiased first look at him. He looks great in there. This is of course the windowless packaging. We've got a brilliant art picture there. I don't know what I mean by art pictures. They've drawn that. It's not a stock image where if you spin it to the back, these are of course actual product images there. It looks like it might be quite tricky with the fact it's going to be 15 steps, in honesty. There is again the character zoomed in, and on this side we've got the legacy artwork. So let's have a look at him. As we're opening him, I need to thank Robot Recruits, because that's who I purchased this from, and as you can see they got it out to me nice and safely. So there he is, all stuck in there. Irony of irony, he's still got plastic tags holding him in. There's his weapon accessory. There's quite a bit of back kibble on there, to be honest. There's his instructions. So what I need to do now is set him free from there and come right back to you. Okay, so I've set him free from the packaging, and in all honesty, I am more than pleasantly surprised. I'm really, in some ways, stunned by the detail on this little figure. And I know they're getting better and better with the core class figures, but this is amazing. The back kibble doesn't look anywhere near as bad as what I thought it was. He's even got a tail on the back. I know there's a bit of gaps there, but again, this is a core class figure, so this is a super basic figure. Articulation, where you can see we've got ball and socket in the shoulder, same as in the bicep. The head nods and it turns. I'm really surprised they've got full articulation on that head. I'm really stunned. It's great. The mold on the head is brilliant. There's loads of detail on it, loads of mold detail. There's even a waist swivel, and the same as the waist swivel, there's the hips on ball and sockets, there's the knees on ball and sockets, and there's even the ankles on ball and sockets. So let's be honest, I think the only thing that we're missing is of course a wrist swivel, but we've got shoulders and bicep stroke forearms swiveling. So there's, you know, it's so good. This is the first time I've experienced this in hand, and I'm very impressed with it. Now I know New Age, etc., Magic Square do brilliant Legends figures, but they're much more detailed and, you know, 3-4 times the price of this. This is a bog standard core class figure, and it looks stunning. The accessory is pretty good as well. A bit boring, but it's got a great color scheme, the gold and the red. In fact, I should have pointed that out on here as well. The color scheme on this works, and the homages to G1 are just there in abundance, which I'll show you in a lot more detail when we come back to robot mode in a second. But what we're going to do now then, we're going to have a quick look at him in his alternate mode and see how he compares with his G1 self. Okay, then we're back, and as you can see, he's in his alternate mode. Quick apologies for no transformation process on this video. Couple of reasons. One, it's going to be separately uploaded, so if you really want to watch it, of course you can. Two is to keep the length of the video down, and the other reason is not to spoil it for people who don't want to see it. They may want to purchase this figure and want to experience what in honesty is quite a nice, satisfying, but quite tricky and complicated little transformation process for such a small little figure. Anyway, let's have a look at it, and it does look really good. You can pretty much tell, obviously, the arms are at the front and the legs are at the back as well, but the wheels rotate absolutely perfectly. The color scheme looks great. Yeah, it surprised me. It really has. This going on the front, in all honesty, doesn't really, as I say, sort of do it for me or anything, and I don't think it in any way enhances this particular alternate mode. Of course, because it's 5mm peg, I've got Kickback's weapon here. You can put any weapon you want in the front of this, and of course it will go. I've even got, actually, what's this here? I've got an old Generations figure as well. So yeah, any 5mm peg, it will of course go there. The thing I've tried to do as well is it sort of works with another core class figure. Maybe he could ride it a bit like the Wreck Gars, just about maybe. Perhaps not though, but right. Main reason we've got them in the alternate mode, apart from showing you him, is to show you the G1 version. So this is the G1 version, and this is this version. So you can see where the homage has come, except funnily enough, let me just take the gun out of the way. They've done it backwards. They've done their arms as the handlebars and the legs at the back. So these are the arms on the G1. If you want to see the G1 in more detail, I've done a video on this channel. Just type in G1 Iguanus. But you can see the colour scheme and everything. It really does. It's good. It's a really good homage to it. As I say, I'm liking it. I think I'm pretty impressed, to be honest. You can tell. What we're going to do now, then, we're going to come back for the final time with him in his robot mode. We're going to have a look at him with his G1 figure, and I'm also going to get this little guy in the Pretender shell of this as well, because that's another little bonus Easter egg that you can do at the same time. Okay, let's have a look at that. Okay then, so we're back for the final time with him in his robot mode, and let's do some comparisons and see how he looks with his weapons. So I think the first things we need to do is just a comparison with him and his other core class figures from the same wave. So obviously we've got Skywarp, and yes, I still think he should have had his null rays, and we've got Hot Rod, and funnily enough, yeah, he's a bit taller. The Iguanus is pretty much smack in the middle, isn't he? And then here's his accessory, which again I think on his own isn't looking that great, but it's what let's see then. Let's see what this combining weapon actually looks like. So we're going to leave you there for a second. We're going to take that out of there. We'll take Hot Rods, we'll take his sword, and what it looks like we've got to do is, yeah, this is wider than the red. So if you're wondering what I'm about, what you need to do is you've got to go on the gold, because the gold will go over the black part. If you're trying to combine it this way around, it won't go, and it'll just look really awkward. So line this up so that fits over there. Take Hot Rod's sword, and will it fit in it? No, again, it's got to be on the side, and this will fit in his hand. And will it counterbalance him? No, he looks all right, doesn't he? Right, let's move these guys out of the way and see how he compares with, there's his original G1 inner bot self, and there is his original G1 outer bot self. And what they've done, and this is what's really clever about this figure, so obviously the robot mode of this is this. So the robot mode is the outer Pretender shell, whereas when you transform him into his alternate mode, you've then got this, which again, genius, so clever. And then the other thing that's really cool is you can take this weapon like so. I'm going to stand him up there still, yep. And because you've got the small tiny holes like you did have on the old figures, he can as well wield the giant sword, and it looks like a giant sword. But then, because not only have you got the small tab, you've got the big tab, you can also pop it in the giant shell's hand as well, in the same 5mm hole, and it looks more like a dagger now than a sword, but you can do it. It's great. Really impressed with this. Super little figure, super amount of fun. With that extra accessory, I suppose it does make it that little bit better. Let me know what you think. Again, I totally agree with you that we needed null rays for Skywalk, but what do you think of everything else? Don't just switch off just yet, because at the very end I'm just going to show a bit of an Easter egg. I'm going to show him inside that Pretender shell there as well. Take care, guys. Okay then, just a very quick bonus feature, and you can, if you want, it's not too hard to manipulate, but you can in fact get core class Iguanus, the little figure, into the Pretender shell. So if I carefully open this, you can see how I've done it if you want to do it for yourselves. So what we did was we just turn the legs. The legs are what you're going to manipulate. We manipulate the legs, and you turn the wheels down at the side. So this is how you do it. So you pop it that way round into there like so, so you can see how it's fitting in the shell. Just manipulate the feet. That's the hardest bit. Once you've got that there, then this will fit up over nicely in line with the top of his head, and it'll clip into place. So there you go. He's a real Pretender again. Take care, guys. Thanks for watching. Like and comment, and don't forget to subscribe.